Senior Union Minister, Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia joins us as India mourns the demise of Mr. Ratan Tata. Minister Scindia, welcome. You were at the helm when the Tata Group was trying to purchase Air India from the government. Give us your personal reflections on, that whole process, your interactions with Mr. Tata, and his desire to buy a government PSU, which many thought would be a commercially unviable proposition, but his commitment to do this was very high. Explain all of that to us, sir.
Rahul, first of all, it's a first loss for me, and I join the whole nation in paying homage to the business titan Ratan Tata ji. My association with him goes back almost about 40 years. I first met with him when I was all of 10 years old with my father. And it's a very old family relationship going back 3 generations. My great grandfather, Madhav Maharaj the first, was very close to Jamshedji Tata ji when he set up Tata Steel. And in fact, it was the Scindias who funded Tata Steel at that point of time. My grandfather, Jivaji Rao Scindia, was very close to GRD Tata ji and brought Air India to Gwalior when Air India started in 1942. And my late father was very close to Ratan Tata ji. I have had a long association of 40 years in my years in Mumbai, then as a banker when I came back from Harvard, where we met with many Tata Group companies as well as Ratan Tata ji. Always been someone who's been very caring, a visionary. What he accomplished in his lifetime is beyond the scope and reach of any normal human being. He had the ability to take risks where no one would dream of venturing, whether it was the Tata Nano project, whether it was the acquisition of Tata Tately, the acquisition of Chorus, JLR, and then finally taking Air India back into the Tata fold from where she had initially sprung. He was someone who was always obsessed with quality of service, obsessed with customer feedback, obsessed with satisfying every single customer that the Tata Group interacted with. And he was very clear on the notion that profits are secondary, satisfying every customer is first. He was a visionary leader not only for the Tata Group, taking it from a $4 billion enterprise to a $100 billion enterprise, but he was a visionary for India, Rahul. He was one of the giants that planted India's flag firmly across nations across the world. And therefore, he will be someone who will be missed by every single Indian, irrespective of age. I remember in 2016 taking him to the Scindia School Founders Day at the ripe old age of 80. And the way he interacted with children, the way they flocked to him, he was an icon even in this generation's mind. I last had a meal with him 2 years ago in his Mumbai house with my family, with my wife and my son, introducing him to the next generation. And he was effusive, warm, caring. His love for animals, his philanthropic value. I still remember in early days as a child, every stray dog was welcome in Bombay House, his headquarters. And at the heart of it, a very caring man. And he's going to be missed because not only was he the head of a huge multi-billion-dollar enterprise, but the heart of it, he was a wonderful human being. And it's a personal loss for me, a relationship which I have cherished throughout my life.
In your capacity as Union Minister in so many different governments, you interact with different industrial groups, different businessmen. What stood out for you in Mr. Ratan Tata? Given the fact that he was so passionate about, the India story, wanting to, and I asked you this earlier about buying Air India from the government when so many around him said this was a bad financial idea, or even wanting to build the Indian Aam Aadmi car, where again his professionals around him said this may not be financially viable. So clearly he had a higher purpose beyond just commerce.
He was an evangelist, and goes back to what I said to you. He believed in creating value for every customer. He was a person who had the ability to take risks that you and I would never even dream of. And if someone said that this is impossible, that's where you would find Ratan Tata. And that ability is something that you cannot acquire. That ability is something that you've got to be born with. And he had that capability. It's probably genetic because Jamshedji Tata thought of putting up a steel plant in what was barren Jamshedpur at those times. American investors, UK investors, 150 years ago, were refused to back him. And my great grandfather then came in and bought up the whole issue of Tata Steel in those days. So the Tatas throughout history, J.R.D. Tata ji, look at his life. And Ratanji's is, if at all, probably topping that. And that's why he is a great son of India, and a son of India that will be missed sorely by each one of us. Not only because he has the ability to be able to think far beyond into the future, but because in that process he was able to touch people's lives, the people he worked with, his staff, his pets. So he was, if I may say so, quote unquote, a gentle giant.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.